Hello, moms. Grab your coffee or tea or whatever you have today. I am drinking some water because I've already drank my coffee today, and water is my next best beverage for the day. And take one slow breath with me before we begin. Feel that belly expand. Feel that air fill your lungs and take that deep breath in. And as you release, let those shoulders drop. Welcome to Calm Mom Conversations. I'm Stacy Johnson, and today we're going to be talking about that connection with our kids. I'm going to probably bring up examples of teenage kids or adult children because that I'm in that stage of life. But this can be related to, you know, any age children. So if you've been feeling a little disconnected lately, even though you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, this conversation is for you. You are showing up, you're answering questions, you're paying bills, you're doing grocery shopping, you're cooking, laundry, maybe you're driving kids back and forth to events. You're managing everybody's schedules, right? I call you guys, all of us, the CEOs of our households. That's what we do. We do all that. But yet something feels distant. Maybe your teenager barely talks to you. Maybe your adult children don't call as often. Maybe the conversations that you are having are feeling tense. Maybe you noticed you're more irritated than you want to be. And you wonder quietly, why does this feel harder than it should? This week, I want to talk about calm conversations and reflection because connection, it doesn't disappear overnight. It slowly erodes when we are overwhelmed. And that's what Calm Mom Conversations is about. This channel is about helping overwhelmed moms. And I'm here to support and guide you in becoming more calm and more connected to your loved ones, especially your children. Because most overwhelmed moms, we don't need better communication skills. We know how to communicate, but we do need a calmer nervous system. And we're not taught that. Most times we are taught communication skills, but we're not taught throughout our life how to calm our nervous system unless you've been, given those skills how to regulate. So we're going to talk about what's really happening, why this feels so hard. Well, we're in the go mode all day, right? We problem solve, we respond to, maybe you're working and you're responding to emails, you respond to your kids' text messages, maybe you're responding to phone calls. You, again, manage people's schedules in the house if you still have them. If you still have kids in the house, you're managing schedules. We carry this invisible load. And what happens is our nervous system shifts into survival. And it's not a dramatic survival, it's subtle survival. It's that tight chest. You know, for years, I felt like something was sitting on my chest, and I had that pain throughout my neck. I spent, several co-pays, going to between chiropractor and physical therapy just for them to finally say I was, overwhelmed and burnout. And I needed to work on that before any of this went away because I was given tons of different techniques to help, work on these muscles, even changed my pillow. But it wasn't until I realized that I was burnt out and overwhelmed before I started to figure out how to regulate my nervous system to have that stop. But then also, there could be this short patience, a quicker tone, and less curiosity. Yeah, less curiosity with what our kids are doing. And when the body is in survival, it moves toward control and correction, not connection. And here's what that can look like in real life. So I want everybody to imagine for a minute. Think about this. Your teen walks in from school. Maybe your adult child walks into the house. They are working and they walk into your house because they're still living with you. And instead of curiosity, you start the conversation with, did you turn in that assignment? If it's a teenage child, you ask him that. Why are you on your phone already? We need to really think about your next steps in life. Or maybe it sounds like this. I've asked you 3 times to do that. Can't you just listen? Why is this always so hard? You're not doing this because you're a bad mom. And you're not doing this because you don't know how to communicate your needs. You're doing this because your body is tired. When we're dysregulated, our brain prioritizes efficiency, not empathy. So we're looking at how do we get our needs met, or how do we get the people in our household to follow through, or we're trying to find out answers quicker by just getting right to the point versus using empathy. And connection requires empathy. You cannot access deep connection from a tense body. That's why slowing down matters. That's why last week we talked about, so if you need to go back to some of the other, um, reels, the shorts that I've put on, the somatic Sundays, slowing down matters. Not because it's what the new trend is, or not because someone else is telling you to do it, but because it's biological. That's what your body needs. So we need to learn to listen to our body. And no one really has taught us how to do that. And so what we need to be looking at is, before the next hard conversation, I want you to start reflecting first. Reflection lowers emotional charge. And here are 3 questions I personally use. 1, what am I carrying today? Is it stress from work? Is it financial pressure? And as we're talking about financial pressure, I want to share something with you, because that is one thing that I have been doing. So if you can take a look over here, you know, financial pressure is a huge stress for a lot of families. And one thing that I have joined and created is you can look at this card right here. I have joined this system, and you can check it out here by going to this LINK right here. Use my name as the one that referred you. And there's no buying or selling products. There's no tech skills needed. You can work from anywhere. It's available in 210 countries. No following is needed on your social media accounts. We offer tons of free training and support, and it costs less than a family pizza night to start earning every month. It is a membership-based, subscription-based company similar to Amazon, Costco, Netflix, and it is bringing me in additional revenue to my home, which has been one of the ways that have helped me, because that financial pressure that we feel from, just rising cost, you know, everything. And so financial pressure is a huge stressor on families. And so that is one way that has been helping me. But also ask yourself, so going back to the questions that you ask yourself, what am I carrying today? Is it that stress? Is it the financial pressure? Is it stress from work? Is it grief that still sneaks in some days? I know sometimes that's for me, because I lost my husband 4 years ago. Grief comes in sometimes during the days. Or is it just plain old fatigue? That you're just really overtired because maybe you're not sleeping well. Because maybe you're not sleeping well because you could be having, we could be having hormonal changes with, mid-age. We start to experience perimenopause, or maybe there is, you have these overthinking thoughts, which is something else that I can help support you on, is stopping those overthinking thoughts. I have helped thousands of women stop overthinking. And so overthinking can definitely get in the way of fatigue, sleeping. But sometimes what we think is frustration with our child is actually exhaustion that we haven't acknowledged. So the second question you want to ask yourself is this about today or built up stress? What you want to ask your child, is it about today or the built up stress? Are you reacting to the moment or the last 15 moments? And that's something else that I help with is becoming more mindful so that we can stop bringing in or stop allowing all the other moments to come to the moment that you're dealing with right now. Because sometimes we explode over dishes, right? But it's not really about the dishes. It's about feeling unseen or unheard. And the third question, ask yourself, what outcome do I actually want? Do I want to be right or do I want to be connected? That question changes everything. When I started asking myself that, my tone softened. Not because my kids changed, because I did. You don't need a long journaling sessions. You just need awareness before reaction. Even 60 seconds of reflection shifts the entire energy of a conversation. Now, I'm going to give you something practical. And here's the simple framework that I teach. We need to regulate our body first. So before you speak, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, exhale longer than you inhale. Feel your feet on the floor. Tell your body, I'm safe. This signals your nervous system that you're not in danger. And when your body feels safe, your voice softens naturally. And if you would like more support on helping regulate your nervous system, then please reach out because I can, you know, meet with you. We can set up a coffee chat. That link is in the description. We can set up a coffee chat and we can talk more about how I can support you in regulating your nervous system because you may have been trying some of the things that I've been talking about and it's not, you don't see a difference. And a lot of times it takes more than just what I'm sharing here. It takes a couple times of working together to look at ways to regulate your nervous system because it's sometimes, like I said, when I talked about the overthinking, uh, our overthinking thoughts can cause a lot of our dysregulation. And if you don't know how to manage those overthinking thoughts and stop the overthinking, then you will naturally still stay in that fight flight mode. And so then your body is still not regulated. So you might need additional support, and that's okay. And so that's what I'm here for. And you can schedule a coffee chat with me, and we can talk a little bit more about what you're experiencing, and we can talk about the things that I offer to support you in that. But after you've regulated your body, the next thing you want to do is lead with curiosity. So instead of saying, why would you do that? Try saying, help me understand what happened. Instead of, what were you thinking? What felt hard in that moment? Curiosity keeps the door open. Can you see the difference? And also the tone. Control slams a door. Control, you know, makes makes the other person go on the defense or shuts them down. And now your connection, you're not connected. If you're always trying to control that outcome, you're not going to connect with your kids. The next step is validate before correcting. Validation is not agreement, it's acknowledgement. So you can say things like, that makes sense, or I can see why you feel that way. I didn't realize that felt so heavy for you. When someone feels understood, their defenses drop. And then correction is received differently. And the next step is we want to close with reassurance. So even if there's a boundary that you need to create, you you can do that by, you know, saying things like, we'll figure it out. Don't forget, I'm on your team. I love you even when you're frustrated. That reassurance rebuilds emotional safety. And safety is the foundation of connection. So let's say your teen forgot something important. Your old response might be, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Your new response is you pause, you take a breath, and you can say, okay, walk me through this. What happened? What's going to help you remember the next time? See the difference? One escalates, one connects. So again, let's talk about real life. You will still snap sometimes. That's normal. I mean, we're moms, right? We're going to still snap. And because we snap, we have emotions connected to that snapping, and that's where sometimes our overthinking kicks in. And again, that's where I can support you because we will snap sometimes. And when we snap, there's feelings of guilt, resentment, and then our subconscious belief system kicks in and we overthink that. And then that creates this overwhelmed feeling. And so I can help support you and breaking that cycle and recognizing that, yes, we might snap sometimes, but we don't have to allow that our old belief system to kick in and us to continue that cycle. You still might raise your voice, and connection is not built by being perfect. It's built by repair. And so if we do snap, then repairing sounds like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't handle that well. I was feeling pretty overwhelmed today. So, can we try that again? And when a mom repairs, she teaches emotional maturity. And here's the beautiful part: repair often builds deeper connection than never messing up at all. Your kids don't want you to be perfect, they want that connection. Because when we repair, like it shows us that we are humans. And it shows them that, you know, we still love them. And it shows them how we can, you know, create safety. So, moms, if you've been feeling disconnected, I don't want you to think that you're failing as a mom. You're just probably very tired and overwhelmed, and you don't have a regulated nervous system. And very good possibility that you have these overthinking thoughts that also get in the way of regulating your nervous system. So this week, don't try to talk more. Try to regulate more. Don't ask more questions. Ask the one calm one. Don't try to correct first. Try to connect first. Again, you don't need to be the perfect mom. You need to be the regulated one that your kids can connect to. And when you become the calm anchor in your home, the entire emotional climate shifts. So again, if this is resonating with you, I would love to have a coffee chat with you. The coffee chat link is in the descriptions below. Make sure you subscribe to Calm Mom Conversations so then you can get notified when I go live or when I drop a new video like this. And again, if you would like the Calm and Focus Breakthrough Kit, which has some journaling prompts and some ways to look into your own self to see where are you being overwhelmed at, you can grab that. That is in the descriptions below. And that system that I talked about earlier in regards to, setting up that financial freedom is also in the descriptions. That link is there too, and you can check that out. So before we go, I want to remind you, we're in this together. Slowly, gently, one calm conversation at a time. So have a wonderful, blessed week, and I will see you all real soon.